Welcome to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. Are you a goofball that loves Giants football? If so, sit back and relax. Except you, that person driving. Sit up and keep your eyes on the road. Your ears, though, can still listen as we talk about the team that both excites and frustrates us so much. And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined as always by...
Me, Rob. We're going to win another playoff game.
Let's win the playoff game!
Playoffs!
Let's
go!
I'm still happy we won one, but you know what's better than one playoff win?
Two
playoff wins. That is definitely, it's twice as good, especially because it's the freaking Eagles. If there's a team I want to beat. 2 is just as sad as 1. So want to take a quick second to thank everybody who's listening in here and who's watching live. Whether you guys are on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, we appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to us there. And for those of you who are listening on the podcast, then I really appreciate you guys listening in the future as well. So today we're going to go over the keys to victory for the defense. But before we do that, we always like to give you guys some Giant news, some things going on. And the man has spoken today. The GOAT. And no, I don't mean Tom Brady. I mean the real GOAT. The real GOAT. LT. Lawrence Taylor. The only man who wears an earring of his initials for 40 years going straight.
Yeah.
So he summed it up pretty simple, I think. And simple but right. He said, man, Saturday night got me so hyped. And I'm telling you guys, if you guys aren't hyped for this Saturday night matchup, check your pulse. This is, there you go. Check it out, Rob. How's it going?
Throbbing.
Whoa, that's usually not a pulse term.
That's how hard I'm about this game.
Wow. So we got another big tweet here as well from, I won't call him the GOAT of QBs, but I'll say the GOAT of Giant QBs. I think that's accurate to say, though Phil Simms might disagree. Eli Manning. I'm actually kind of curious if Phil Simms thinks that he is the GOAT as far as Giant QBs, because I'm sorry, Phil. Much love to you, man. And we'd love to have you on the show, by the way. The email is twogiantgoofballs@mail.com. But Eli is the Giant quarterback GOAT. And he tweeted out this week, said all 8 starting QBs this weekend were counselors at the Manning Passing Academy. Pretty cool. And, dude, that is freaking awesome. That's beyond cool.
Yeah.
Like, that's legacy right there. Like, think about it. Every single guy that's still playing quarterback in the NFL, and there's only 8 of them left, was literally taught by the Mannings.
Yeah.
If that's not legacy, I don't know what is. Seriously, that's like an impact that any of us, if we had that kind of impact on our career path to other people, we'd be like, wow, woof. We did something right here.
Yeah, right?
So whoever wins the Super Bowl this year will be a counselor from that camp.
That's...
Whoever wins both championship games will have been a counselor at that camp. That's pretty damn impressive. That really is. So, kudos to all the Mannings, because I don't know if Cooper's involved with that, but everybody forgets Cooper, okay? We like hanging out with Mr. Cooper, okay? Congrats, Cooper. By the way, in a couple of years, good luck with your kid. When Arch goes into the draft, because people are already talking about tanking for Arch. So, another bit of good quote here, news that came out, I thought. Dexter Lawrence told his mama not to attend the playoff game in Philadelphia. And people were like, wow, is it a far travel for her? Or is there a medical issue going on for her? No. It's to avoid a medical issue.
Yeah. He's a good son. That's
Yes.
why.
He's afraid that she's going to run her mouth against the Eagles fans and get herself into trouble. First off, kudos to Dexter for thinking of Mama first, because you got to take care of family, man.
Dexy,
but also, kudos to his mom for being the kind of mom who would stand up and get into those fights in the stands. That's awesome. Like, seriously, can you
Will
imagine?
Smith's mom.
Yeah.
You move with your Andy Hockey in the West Fire.
Is that where Will Smith learned to slap from his mama?
Maybe.
Chris Rock did not like her. So we also have an update here for you guys on the coaching search as well, because we talked about the fact that both our coordinators are being looked at as possible head coaches at various places: Indianapolis, Carolina, Houston. Yeah, I always forget Houston because
everyone forgets about Houston except for
it's kind of a forgotten one. Oh, here we go. Sabrina says, "Keep Will Smith's name out your mouth." Sabrina, we can't help ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping to get slapped by Will Smith so I can sue him and get some money.
Yeah.
I'm just here so he does get fined.
Yeah.
But so the coaching search here. So it looks like both the coaches are at the right mindset, and that's one thing to look at going into this game. When you got two coordinators that are being looked at as potential head coaches, first off, as much as I don't want to lose either one, we've talked about that ad nauseum already, I also am kind of proud as a Giant fan that teams are looking at what we're doing and saying, damn, we got to duplicate this. How long has it been since we've heard that, Giants fans? How long has it been since
we've been firing coaches?
Yeah, seriously. Most people are like trying to pick up our head coaches as possible position coaches, not even coordinators. That's how bad it's been. So we got now guys going, hey, wait a minute. These guys, we want to duplicate this. Like, if that's not a good feeling, guys, then something's wrong. Check your pulse again. Check the pulse.
Yeah.
Check the pulse.
It's still throbbing.
Nurse, he's convulsing. So they had some quotes here. So Wink Martindale says, "It's one of those things. It's an honor when they put a slip in because I think it's harder to get a head coaching job in this league than being in the Senate." And I'm like, wow, that's kind of sad. And then I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, you know what? There are 100 senators in the U.S. There's 32 head coaches.
So 1/3.
So you'll have 3 times the chance to become a senator in this league. In this country.
No, in the U.S. Senate.
Than you do to ever become a head coach. Yeah, than you ever have to become a head coach in the NFL. That's kind of sad. Wow.
And you take into accountability that any who can run for senator, it takes talent to run for a head coach.
Listen, I think everything going on both sides in Congress tells us that yes, anyone can run for Senate. But anyway, so Wink says, he says it's an honor, but we're not interviewing this week. When I came here as a Giant, it wasn't a stepping stone for me as a destination. I love it here in New York. I love this city. I think it's the greatest city in the world. I think it's the greatest fans in the world. The ownership, the Maras and the Tishes have been great to my family. Honestly, I've been locked in on Philly. We're not interviewing this week. Now, he did say after that, I think when the time comes, if there is still time, we can do it. I'd love to sit down and talk to them. That's what said. It's serious. That's a great answer, though. And I think this man, if you guys remember, when we did the head coach search before we got Joe Judge and made that, goof there, we also interviewed him. So I think it's kind of interesting that he ended up coming here as a coordinator eventually, and I think it shows he really does have an appreciation for the franchise, for the city. I mean, how could you not like being a part of the New York Giants? I mean, one of the most storied, franchises in the NFL, and one that not only because of the fact that it's in New York, the largest market in the U.S., but we got 4 rings. We have a good history. Minus the last couple of years before this one.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Well, we're going to ignore the last 6 years or so. But it's interesting to see that. So Kafka said, we'll find the appropriate time. What's best for myself and the team. I like that. And the team. I know head coach Brian Daboll hit on that this week about not doing it this week during the game week. So try to keep that as normal as possible, and then we'll find a good time when it's right. And they're basically repeating everything Daboll's saying. It's not the time. Let's go ahead and get these interviews done when we have the time, when the season's over, or maybe during a bye week if we happen to get lucky and get the Super Bowl. I want to get ahead of myself because that'd be a pipe dream at this point. But listen, one can still dream. One can still dream.
Pro Bowl interviews.
Yes. But yeah, so Daboll said in response, said, you work extremely hard to get to the spot. All the work you put in, the off-season training camps, the regular season games, obviously the first playoff game, as a professional, that's where all your attention is. So I think it lends a little credence when it's Brian Daboll saying this because he just became a head coach. This is a guy who just even last season was a coordinator in the playoffs in this exact position. So,
yeah.
So let's get on to the whole reason we're even having this episode is I go and rant about our coaches. I love our coaches. Thank you, guys. We had a good season.
Drew,
we like this.
Drew is here to talk about the D.
We are here to talk about the defense. Yes.
Yes, the big old D.
And
fence.
we have a great defense. So I think it's time to get to it.
I have to say, that front of that D fence is fantastic.
Listen, our defense has been ranked very high this entire season.
That D fence has gone above and beyond.
Oh, it's
to stimulate the other team.
It's just shot up the rankings. Okay. Yeah. So, I think we all know what's going on as far as our defense overall. We've had a great year, especially against the pass. We obviously did not have a very good game the first time with the Eagles. Let's be honest. We got absolutely freaking crushed. Absolutely crushed. Like that was probably the only embarrassing game that I think we really had, all season. I don't know if you want to agree with that or not, Rob, but that's the only game that I left going, this is embarrassing.
Yeah, that was the only blowout we had all year. Like, that we were not in it whatsoever. Every other game up to the halftime and even into the third quarter. Because the only other time, like, we kind of lost by a bigger margin was against Dallas. But we were in that game right to the end.
Yeah.
And come the second time around, week 18, Philly struggled to beat our preseason team.
Yeah, that was kind of fun.
Like, Mr. Webb threw his first.
Yes, you call him Mr. Webb. Mr. Webb.
Coach Webb soon enough.
He will be. He will be.
Yeah, I mean,
not to get sidetracked, but if Kafka leaves, watch Webb become part of the coaching staff. I'm not saying it's OC, but watch him become part of the coaching staff.
QB coach, hands down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the big thing, I think, the question for the defense, really, and we have a comment already here from Jackie asking, how healthy is Jalen Hurts? And that's the big question this week, really, is we haven't seen Jalen Hurts play in 2 weeks now. Obviously, the Eagles had the bye week there. And, the big issue is, has he recovered from that shoulder injury? And I don't know. But, dude, he looked bad that last game against us. He did not look like his old self at all.
He said he felt 89% in that game. If that's 89%, like, ugh.
He was playing like he was 89, not 89%.
Yeah.
Same age as Brady.
I mean, he said he felt good to play this game, but it's also the playoffs. So, everyone's going to play. Like, there's no doubt in my mind, like, if you're like Isaiah Hodgins that has a bum ankle, he's going to go out there and run.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing.
We talked about that last episode. Wow.
Yeah.
I still can't get over that picture of his ankle and how bad that was. Wow.
Gross.
I'd be like off it for a week, and this guy instead's like, let's play football.
Yeah. let me run on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that shoulder, he's probably lying to us saying how great he feels.
Oh, yeah.
So that, it all depends. He had 2 weeks off, but you know what 2 weeks off also does? That one first week off, they're probably practicing to play Minnesota because everyone counted the Giants out. So then they have to change their game plan. And now he's got to figure out how to play against the Giants. So it's really not a 2-week layoff. And how much rust is he going to have?
Layoff.
Playoffs.
Oh, you said layoff. Oops.
Yeah.
I couldn't help myself.
We said playoffs like 17 times in this first time, so that's pretty good.
There we go. There we go.
But the team hasn't played in 2 weeks, so how much rust are they going to have? Like, that injured shoulder might have a little extra rust on it that no one's taking into consideration. So, Miss Jackie out there, we're all looking if we don't know.
Yeah. And we got Ken here as well saying they need to put some big hits on Hurts all game. And, yeah, that's key. When you got a guy who's injured, you have to go ahead and get to him because he's worried about hurting the injury even worse. So that's our first key, I think, really, for this defense is we have to rush the passer. We have to get to him. We have to disrupt his rhythm. Even if we don't end up getting him to the ground and sacking him, we have to disrupt his rhythm. We can't let him pass all over the place wherever he wants to do like he did in that first game.
We have to take faith into our four fighters on the front line to do all the rushing. Because you know what? Look at what Wink did against the week 18. Like the first time they played, I think the blitz rate was about 47%, and then week 18 when they played them, it was 28%.
Yeah.
And how much worse did that the receiving look? How much worse did that run game look?
Yep.
So you have to rush Jalen Hurts, which will also help him stop running. Put a spy on him so this way he can't run, and then block all his other weapons. And then that's going to be the key to victory. And then throw a couple blitzes in there. Yeah.
Yeah, throw a couple. Why not wink? Go for it. That's what you do anyway. No matter what we say, you're gonna wink. You're gonna go ahead and do that wink. You're gonna go
wink
ahead and blitz nonstop. Yeah, I'm gonna wink it. So, I think the big thing's gonna be also is how healthy is Azeez Ojulari. You know, he's the one guy that we're kind of like, is he gonna play? Is he not gonna play? They didn't talk much about the quad injury he suffered in the game against the Vikings, but I did see some video that license plate guy, the super fan, big fan, by the way, LPG, if you're watching.
Come on the podcast.
Come on the podcast, man. We're happy to have you. 2 giant goofballs on mail.com. We already did 2 plugs for that now. So, but yeah, I they were showing him kind of trying to get going and kind of loosen up, and he just couldn't do it. So, that's a key there. But the big thing is if we could even just get him in on third downs, on obvious passing plays, it makes a huge difference. Because this guy's been a freaking beast all season long when he has played, which has not been very often. But when he has played, he has been an absolute beast. And when you have him on one side and you have Kayvon on the other, and you have, on top of that, up the middle rush with Leonard Williams, with Dexter Lawrence,
It's one of the best four in the front four in defense. When they're healthy, they're fantastic.
Oh yeah. Now we got a comment from Tom saying, as the saying goes, Wink never met a QB he didn't blitz. Yeah, that's pretty true. I think there's pretty much never going to be a QB he won't blitz. That man is a blitzing machine.
I don't know if he personally blitz all the QBs, but
listen, I think somebody has to hold him back from. I'm telling you, I would have loved to see him play in his day. I don't know what how much playing I never looked into that, but I can imagine he was a very aggressive deep ender in his high school or college, whatever he played. But
he looks like he should be the head coach. Yeah, he looked like he should be the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And I wonder. They talked about this back in the day with Rob Ryan when he played, so when he coached as a defensive coordinator for so many years, of him having trouble getting a job because of his look. I wonder if Wink with the long hair and the ripped off shirt, shirt sleeves and all, if that kind of hurts
sweater vest.
Listen, I'm going to say this: whatever you do, guys, if you're listening and you're a GM or an owner of another team, first off, thank you for listening. Second off, don't hire this guy. He'd be horrible for you. Okay,
horrible.
He's just horrible. Yes, he's just. We would love for him to be gone.
Yeah. Look at Bill Belichick. Out a hoodie with no sleeves.
Yeah, you would want that on your team.
Yeah. Garbage.
But yeah, so like I said, we need to see how healthy Azeez is going to be, because if he is healthy, it really helps Kayvon get going as well, because you can't double them both. And that's key. The other key is going to be that Lane Johnson is going to be playing again. Their Pro Bowl right tackle. So we need somebody good to go against him, or basically just count out any pass rush from that side of the offensive line. Because Lane Johnson, when healthy, we'll see how healthy he actually is. But when healthy, he's one of the best in the business. So, yeah. So, the big thing also is going to be, as Jackie chimes in with another question here, can we finally stop the run? And that's my next key to victory here for the defense, is we have to find a way to, I won't even say stop the run, because we've proven we can't do that all year long. But we have to find a way to manage the run. So what I mean by that is they're going to run the ball. They're going to get some yards. Don't let that be something they can continuously do and just dink and dunk in those 5-yard rushes all day long. Because if they do that, it's going to be a long game. It's going to be a long game, guys. And Miles Sanders had a great year. Obviously Jalen Hurts has some running ability also at the QB position. He's still one of the top 5 running quarterbacks in the league as well. So it's a dual threat running offense, and we've had trouble all year long with that.
Yeah, we did. And Scott loves running all over us. That's never good.
Oh my God! And you saw Wink kind of call him out a little bit this week as well, and said he's not a giant killer. He's a good player, but he's not a giant killer.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Wink. I'm going to disagree with you on this one. That man scores a touchdown every single time he plays the Giants. He never scores a touchdown except when he plays the New York Giants. I don't know why. So, but for whatever reason, it's something we have to kind of, like I said, not stop. We're not going to stop it. We don't have a defense that does that. We have to try to manage it. And the big thing is, can our linebackers finally play correctly? Can they finally stop the run? Can they go ahead and get their lanes? Can they run down if they misread the play? These are things they haven't done all year long. So I'll say this. I don't expect it, but I'm hoping to be shocked.
Yeah, listen. Don't expect the Giants to hold the Eagles to 10, 13, 17 points. Both these teams are going to put up in the 20 points, most likely. The plan is to limit the damage they could do and put more damage up. That's just how it's going to go. I want to say we can stop them 100%. Wink studying the footage. Now that we got a healthy team, you got a Dory that could cover, A.J. Brown probably most of the time. You also got you got Xavier McHenry back, who could either double coverage or be a spy. Same with Julian Love.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could if you could read the way the offense sets up, your defense could set up how they're going to play in a sneaky coverage. Do they double up in the back? Do they do a spy for the QB sneak or for the rush? If you could limit those rushes that would have been 6-8 yards on us in week 15 when we first played them to 2 to 3 yards, it's a different ball game.
Yeah, huge. I mean, football is literally one of those games that 1 or 2 yards makes all the difference in the world. Ask Kirk Cousins about that right now. Just saying. I ask him, because 1 or 2 yards, they weren't that far from a first down. They were only a couple yards away. So, it's one of those things. So, let's get into our next key to victory. And Sabrina chimes in again with a good question here. If they stop the run with more on the line, how will they cover Devontae Smith? And the big thing is, our secondary is so much healthier than it was the first go-around where the Eagles destroyed us, when basically A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith both were able to do whatever the hell they wanted. Nobody was able to stop them. Nobody was able to even come close to stopping them. They only stopped themselves because the Eagles literally, I feel like they felt bad and started running the ball, and they stopped, going
Mercy
crazy
roll.
with the 30, 40-yard passes they were doing. So the big thing is Adoree Jackson is back, obviously. I'll give you guys some stats real quick on Adoree and how well he did last week and how important he is. I got him here.
Oh, I got him right here. Right up here,
got
man.
him. I got him. We both got him. So when he aligned opposite Justin Jefferson last week, literally the best receiver in the game of football.
That was sign language.
Okay.
Yeah.
The best. A.J. Brown's not the best. He's definitely in probably the top 10, maybe even top 5, but he's not the best. So Justin Jefferson, he was aligned 85% of the time with him. His line on those plays, 6 catches, 37 yards. 37 yards with the best receiver in the game of football. This guy's a game changer.
Drew, remind me, do you have the stats? How many yards did Justin Jefferson put up against us the first time we played him?
I do not have that stat in front of me, but I know it was over 100 yards. That's for damn sure.
It was like 4 times that.
No, it wasn't 400 yards.
No, 4 times. 4x, 4 times. Multiplication.
Yes, I said over 100 yards. You said 4 times that. It's not 400 yards.
4 times, you son of a gun.
You leave my mother out of this. I'll get Dexter Lawrence's mother on you.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying. 4 times what he did in that second matchup.
Yeah.
So yeah, so he did like I think it was like 128 yards. I want to say, if I'm remembering off the top of my head here correctly.
Yeah. Like
now you're gonna have me look it up. But we didn't have him for that first matchup either, which is what you're getting to there. So it's like, it's just
Game changer.
huge. It's huge having a guy who can shut down literally the best quarterback, let's say the best receiver in all of football. And he literally, when he's healthy, he is that good, folks. He is that good. And keep in mind that not only does he help on that end, but to Sabrina's original question, now Devonta Smith is covered by the second best corner that we have, not the third best. That's a big difference. So Fabian Moreau will now cover Devonta Smith instead of trying to stop A.J. Brown, which he obviously had no ability to do whatsoever. Let's not even kid ourselves here on that one. So the big thing is going to be now you have your number 1 on their number 1 or number 2 on their number 2. Now, is their number 1 better than a number 1? No. I would say they're pretty evenly matched. Is their number 2 better than our number 2? Yes. I would agree on that one.
It's awesome that we got a healthy McKinney back.
That's where I was about to get to. By the way, I just finished finding the stat for you. 133 yards Justin Jefferson put the first time. Oh, look at that. Ken just posted in our comments section as well. Good job, Ken. We both got it at the same time.
Yeah. Golf clap. You the man, Ken.
Appreciate the help, though, Ken.
Sorry about your Chicago Bears.
Ooh, wow. Listen, don't feel sorry for the Chicago Bears. They're about to get a ton of draft picks for that first overall pick. That's a rebuild move right there. But yeah, so you're going to have the ability now to go ahead and put a guy like Xavier McKinney to look over the top at that point for Devonta Smith as well. Because I tell you, I have no problem whatsoever leaving Adoree Jackson on an island with A.J. Brown, even as good as he is. I have not a single worry in the world about doing that. And that probably sounds a little crazy here, but I just don't.
I have all the faith. He shut down the best receiver this year already.
Yeah. So let him go at it, and let's worry about that. Now, the big one we really have to worry about, though, is what is our biggest weakness on defense for the past, feels like 100 years?
Tight ends.
Tight ends.
Those guys just love the tight ends.
They just do. So
it must be the pants.
They always wear the stretchy pants.
Yeah.
Like Nacho Libre.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're a man, you must wear the stretchy pants. So, Dallas Goedert didn't even play in the first matchup when they spanked us. Let's be honest, they spanked us. So, and as Sabrina, all the ladies are now, Sabrina, girls love the tight ends. Anastasia, all the ends. But yeah, so, he didn't even play the first time. And look what TJ Hawkinson did us last week. Look what he did a couple of weeks ago when we played him on Christmas Eve. He
best game ever.
Us. Look at the Ravens game when Mark Andrews just crushed us. So we have to figure a way to finally cover a tight end. We just do. And I don't know what the answer is. I feel like we keep on trying it. To be honest, we may not come up with the real answer until next year. I hate to say it that way.
This is a PG-13 podcast. I can't answer that.
Or how to cover the tight end?
Yeah.
A pair of pants.
Yeah.
If that's where you're going, a pair of pants.
Okay. Pair of pants.
Get your mind out of the gutter, Rob. Such a pervert.
Stop.
But, Yeah, like I said, I don't know what the answer is for you, dude. I wish I did. I don't want to say Landon Collins. I want to say Landon Collins is the guy to put on him and let him cover him. And here's the thing: Landon Collins is not the best cover guy in the world. We know that. We've had him plenty of times. You know, his second run now with the team. He's not the guy you want covering typically. But you know what he is? He's the guy you want to be able to smack the crap out of the guy who does catch it. So maybe if he gets smacked around a couple of times, so think about that as he's, going for the next third catch, the fourth catch, and go, maybe I don't want to catch this that bad because there's this guy who's going to hit me. You start hearing those footsteps as a receiver, and whether it's, a wide out, a tight end, whatever the case may be, you hear footsteps when you get smacked around a couple of times. So I think that's probably the best bet for us, but in Wink we trust. In Wink we trust.
In Wink we trust.
Exactly. So, so I think here's another final key I want to give us here on this game. And the final key that I have is stay healthy. Stay healthy, guys, because we have had that problem all damn year. I swear we have more injuries than an episode of Rescue 911. I'm not sure what the hell is going on. Yeah, I brought up the William Shatner episodes back in the day. What now?
It's like we're in an episode of ER.
What are these old guys talking about? Rescue 911. It was a TV show with William Shatner before reality show was a thing. It was like cops with the EMS people. It was awesome. I remember there was like one episode they had to come out because somebody got their tongue stuck in the freezer. It was spectacular. Okay, people, watch it.
Going on Google after this podcast.
Seriously, William Shatner would just pop out of an ambulance out of nowhere like,
I see your tongue is stuck in the freezer.
Rescue 911.
Don't put hot water on it.
We must send an ambulance. Could you imagine if he was
Hold on, let's turn on the division round game first.
Could you imagine if you if you went ahead and called 911 and somebody was talking like that? Well, are you feeling okay?
What
do you need some assistance? I'm like, what the? What's wrong with my phone? But
am I getting punked?
Where's Ashton Kutcher? Is that still a thing? I don't even know. I'm so out of touch.
No. So old.
I'm so old. It's okay. Better than the alternative. So, but yeah, like I said, guys, they got to stay healthy. Last week was the first I want to say the first game all year that nobody had any injury designation whatsoever.
Yes.
So Sabrina just called me a boomer. Sabrina, I'm not a boomer. Okay, I'm a zennial. A zennial. Not quite Gen X, not quite millennial. I'm a zennial. Wow, boomer. Get off my lawn, damn it.
Hooligans.
But last week was the first time, I think, all season long that we didn't have anybody on the injury report going into the game. This week, we'll go over more of the injuries on the next episode tomorrow. Cliffhanger. But the only one we're really worried about is Azeez Ojulari. So that's good. But keep in mind, Azeez didn't have any injury going into last week. We got to stay healthy, guys, because let's be honest, on paper, the Eagles are a better team. I hate to say that.
You son of a bitch.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. I called your mom a gun. Now I called her.
Wow. Sorry, Mom, if you're watching.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Wow.
Nothing personal.
Wow.
That's true. You jerk.
He's like, where do I go now with this?
You jerk.
But yeah, I mean, we have to stay healthy in this game and keep everything going because of the fact, like I said, I hate to say it, but they're a better team than us. They are. We win because we have better coaching. I do think we have a better coach. Nick Sirianni's not a bad coach. I hate to say that, but he's not a bad coach. Look what he's done with this team. But I have trust in our coaching staff to get the best out of what is, again, let's be frank, a mediocre roster.
Yeah, I mean, look at our number 2, Isaiah Hodgins. Even though we're talking about the defense.
Who does number 2 work for?
Brian Daboll. But
I'm not looking at anybody.
That dude was on a practice squad. Who'd be lucky if he was a wide 6 or 7 on the team, but he was probably a practice squad guy. And now he's our number 2 with great coaching. comes with great responsibility, like winning a
God.
divisional round game.
Sabrina's still doing it. She says, "Oh my God, you're so old." Wow. There we go. We got Tom
Coach of the year.
Brian for Coach of the Year. He should be Coach of the Year. Paul, let's
Yeah.
go Giants. Let's go Giants.
German!
G-Man. Well, that's
So-
how we
so
end it.
early,
Hold on.
so
People
early,
are going
so
to
early.
think
Yeah,
we're
so
done.
early.
That's
Premature.
how we end the show.
It's a premature G-man.
Yes, exactly. Whew. Talking about the D. Fence. And now you're being premature.
I was throbbing earlier.
Oh, my God. Good thing this show's on late tonight. People on podcast land, don't listen to this in the morning on the way of dropping the kids off at school.
Yeah. Put that at the beginning of the show.
But like I said, I think that's the whole thing is we have to go ahead and stay healthy for this to be a good end result for us. And we've talked about this before as far as our thoughts on that in the previous 2 episodes ago. We did our picks. Now that wasn't on live. It was before we started doing that, since it's only our second live episode. So anybody's interested in the picks for all this weekend, go over to Podcast Land. Hello, Podcast Land, if you're watching live. If you're in Podcast Land, just go 2 episodes ago and you'll see all our picks. But we did say that we think the Eagles are a potential winner. Rob, if I remember correct, you picked us to win, and I picked the Eagles to win. So I'll say it. Yeah.
We both agreed, obviously, since they're going to win, that Giants are going to cover that spread.
Yes.
So, like, as a betting person, I'm probably not going to bet that the Giants are going to win.
Well, hold on. We're not going to bets yet. That's next episode. They're jumping the gun. You're jumping the gun. And apparently you told me a son of a gun before.
Yeah.
So that doesn't work out very well. Did
I just jump over your mom?
Whoa. Leapfrogging. But yeah, again, they are the better team on paper. If we stay healthy, we have the better coaching staff at that point. We have a chance to take this, and I really hope we do, because I want to stick it to Eagle fans. Eagle fans, if anybody of you guys are watching or listening, we hate you.
We got
We
a
hate you
couple
with
birds
passion.
for you.
Yeah, we got a couple. The New Jersey State Bird.
Yeah.
I can't do it on screen. They'll shut us off on YouTube probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just
somewhere in this vicinity.
Yes, read between the lines.
Yeah.
But it's like, this is one of those things that this is a game-changing thing for us if we win this game. Because let's be honest, nobody respected the Vikings. People have respect for the Eagles. So we're going to give you guys, though, our final predictions on everything on the next episode. We're going to go over all the injuries as well. That'll be coming up tomorrow night. So keep posted. If you haven't already, if you're in Videoland, then hit that like button on the page you're on. Hit the subscribe button, whichever button applies to the platform you're on. It gets very confusing. Why can't they all have the same name? Pick a name, people. Like, subscribe, whatever. Pick a name.
Yeah. Also, please, I also realized, because I listened to probably 25 podcasts in a week, half of them I didn't subscribe to, not realizing the importance of what it does for the podcast.
It's huge.
So
it really
and
is.
it really is huge. So please, if you enjoy the show, hit the subscribe button. If you enjoy listening, you don't have to listen to every episode. Just hit the subscribe button, because it really does help.
If you didn't enjoy, tell us we suck by hitting the subscribe button and putting a comment.
Yes,
give us
we
a
suck.
5-star review still.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like I said, so go ahead and follow us up on all the different social media: Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. We're going to start streaming to other sites as well soon. If you're streaming, going, oh, why aren't they on Twitch, or why aren't they on, I don't know, LinkedIn, whatever. There's so many different spots. We can do it soon. We're going to do it soon. This is the second one here, so we're going to be expanding here soon. And if you're listening in Podcast Land, hit that subscribe button, whether you're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, any of the platforms. I think we're on like 30 different platforms. It's insane how many platforms are. But we're on them all. Yeah. We're on them all. We are on the ball here, okay? So, guys, again, thank you very much for listening to us, these two goofballs, giving you guys the information on the game coming up here. And we appreciate you guys. And as always,
go G-Man!
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 Go G-Man! G-Man! Go G-Man!
G-Man.
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support. If you made it this long, you must have enjoyed it. So I am sure you have followed us on all the social media platforms. Of course, you have subscribed to the show on your favorite app as well and given us a top rating. Right? Right? Right?